It's time to roll for initiative and look out for dicelings. It's time to do the Dungeons and Dragons movie action figures. Hey guys, me your host SuperSorrell, thank you very much for tuning in, and look what I got! I got the movie action figures of Dungeons and Dragons. It's taken me a little while to get around to doing these figures, I do apologise. I've got so many figures to review that I've started unboxing them and having them on the shelf, and then getting around to reviewing them at a later date. Hope that's okay with you guys. If you remember a little while ago, I did review the Great Big Gelatinous Cube, and you guys really enjoyed that review and said that you would like to see the movie figures get the full review treatment on the channel, so here we are. I thought I'd do one video and put all 4 of these figures in. If you enjoyed this video, then I can do it again with the cartoon ones as well if you want to see those as well. These are the movie action figures though, and I'm really excited to have these on my shelf. So one by one we'll go down the line, starting from left to right with the obvious Chris character. It's a Chris Pine. And Chris Pine is playing a character called Edgin, or Edgin, and he is the lute player of the thing, so he's the bard. Then we have Holga, and she's obviously the warrior type. Then we have Simon, who is their mage. And then finally on the end there we have, I believe, the bad guy of sorts from the film. I believe kind of that's what he is without looking into this too much. Obviously I haven't seen the film yet, so I'm not quite sure. But obviously it's Hugh Grant, the British actor. Gotta love a bit of Hugh Grant. So it should be a good movie with Hugh Grant and Chris Pine, but we'll see when we get there. Right, open the doors to the Golden Archive. This 6-inch scale premium action figure is part of the Dungeons and Dragons lore and entertainment from nearly 50 years, featuring the deco and articulation and poseability one expects from Hasbro, with the characters, classes, and species you love from the Dungeons and Dragons game. Okay, Dungeons & Dragons dice are the D&D accessories of choice for boring humans, but this bard comes with the items benefiting his class. Edgin is a charismatic bard skilled in plan-making, creativity, and inspiration. He's part of many realms of the D&D, the world's greatest role-playing game. Okie dokie. More 6-inch action figures means more D&D gifts. Okay. This is the weirdest press write-up ever for these figures, but I suppose they've gone a bit whimsical with it being D&D. It doesn't explain his accessories to me, and I think one of them is probably movie-related, as we do have this piece, which I have no clue what this is. No clue. And I've been playing D&D for years, and I've got no clue what this is meant to be a representation of, so I'm guessing it's story movie related. That's the only thing I can think of. But if we bring Chris Pine forward, I keep nearly saying Chris Pratt every single time. If we take a close look at Chris Pine though, the figure itself is nice. It actually does have some resemblance to him, not majorly. I say that the same about the Hugh Grant one. It kind of looks like him. You know who it's meant to be without, but it's almost like they're going, you know who this is without it getting copyrighted. So I'm not sure about the likeness rights, but it's okay. It's definitely not photoreal by any means. It does not look like that. But it's passable and it's reasonable. It's nice to have Dungeons & Dragons figures, I'm not gonna lie, it's just nice to have those in general. So, obviously these are movie stylings, and we've obviously got the cartoon kids ones from that version. And when they make figures going forward, like, if they're gonna, because obviously they've made Dritz before, are they gonna stick to a movie style, or are we gonna go back to the Dritz style of cartoon? I'd love to know, because like the NECA figures, the NECA ones are obviously based on the lore of D&D, and they're based more on like a cartoony look. So I'm wondering how D&D is going to handle it. Are they going to like photo reel everything like they do with the Marvel? Like they do with the Legends? No, like they do with the Star Wars characters, where they make the cartoon ones look real. Just food for thought. I put the loot because you can fit the loot around his neck, which is nice. But the accessory is pretty cool. The arms on that are nice and stiff, by the way. I love that, because sometimes my figures go loose really quick. These ones feel really stiff, which is great. But we've got the loot here, which is nicely attached to his back. But sorry, the camera's having a hard time focusing with all the characters on the stage here. But if I go ahead and pull this, It then presents the loot. Green sleeves for my true love, for my with my lady green sleeves. But yes, he is the bard. And I was very upset because when I saw this, I thought, oh, that's cool that he's the bard. And obviously, I'm a big fan of Stranger Things. I'm a big fan of Eddie. I'm a big fan, obviously, cliche, I know, but, you know. And I wanted to see if I could swap the Chris Pine head for the Eddie head, and then treat this as like Eddie's D&D character, the bard, but nope. Nope. Wasn't allowed. These heads also don't pop very easily. You'd need to proper warm them up. Articulation-wise on these figs then, so we have... So the head can look up and down a little bit, as well as left and right. There's some movement there, just a little bit stiff. The arms lift up at the side hinge here, and also rotate, with rotation at the bicep, with double hinged elbows that come all the way in, which is nice, and the hands are on hinge joints. Here at the waist, you can crunch them around, which is nice. Plenty of movement there. Legs lift out to the side. Stiff as a board. Oh my god, as well as forwards and backwards. Oh my god, these are properly stiff. I'm also scared they're going to break. And then we've got a top thigh cut, double hinge knees, I believe. No, single hinge knees. Oh my god, I thought they were double hinged. No, they're single hinge knees, aren't they? Oh no, it's not. There's the double hinge. Yeah, there is a double hinge there. It's just not... There we go. It's just taking some activating. I don't want to bend it too much and break it either. But yeah, it is double hinged. I thought it was. Jeez. And then we've got the boot cut, and the feet are on rocker and pivot. So, with the double hinged knees and the boot cut, that's bringing them on par with the... What do you call it line? The G.I. Joe line. You don't get that same articulation every time on Legends and on Black Series. They are introducing it slowly, but it means these figures are as articulated as the G.I. Joe line. Nice. So that was our bard. Then we can move on and look at Helgen. I will get used to these names in a little bit. Holga. Holga. Okay, so let's have a look. This barbarian comes with the weapons benefiting her class. Holga is a fierce barbarian from the Uthgard elk tribe with a surprisingly warm heart. Interesting. Oh, one thing on the Chris Pine. He's also got a knife in his little sheath here. Sorry, it reminded me because she's got the same sort of knife here hiding. So I'll show you on that one. But it's more or less the same on him and on hers. Oh, you are not going to stick to this board, are you? Note to self, these figures do not like the McFarlane's bases. I'm having to kind of perch them on there. They don't really want to stay on there. Okay, Holga. So yes, she does have a sidearm here. Shing! She has a nice little dagger, which is very cool looking. Very different. With a nice gold end on there, and that just slides nicely into there. This piece on the cloth on the dress moves up and down, so it's not going to hinder the articulation, which is great. Her weapon sits nicely on her back as well. It just slides in. There is a little piece that can pull out, look. So you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But yeah, you can pop that in there, and it will allow her to put the weapon on her back. The weapon itself just pops out, and currently is on its extendable part. But it can be shortened. Hang on, I'm just going to do this off camera so I don't break it. One sec. There we go. So the head of the hammer does come off like this and pops, because there is a shorter handle that is included as well. So you don't have to have it on its full long long hammer style that she's using at the moment. We can shorten it, so it's the shorter version, which again can still be stored on the back, so it still will slide into there. Shing! So she can either have the long one or the short one, which is great. There's no colour detail to this hammer though, except for the head of the weapon, which I do find a bit odd. I'd assume they would have just used the same one from the gelatinous cube, you know, the same mould and the same colour schemes, but obviously not. Again, she's got the same articulation as the other characters, so I'm not going to stand on that too much. But yeah, there's the weapon in her hand, which is nice. But there is the other weapon on the actual gelatinous cube, which I've got the gelatinous cube here at the side of me. So I am just going to pop off the other weapon to show you. So this is the weapon that's on the gelatinous cube. It does have a little hole here where it does slot onto the gelatinous cube. From this side, you can't even tell. I'd assume they would have used this weapon. Although I understand that the head's a little bit different because it's meant to look like it's been eaten away at the by the gelatinous cube, kind of absorbing it. But the gelatinous cube is great because obviously it gives your characters additional weapons. There's a bunch of weapons on there that can be taken off and used in display. So I do prefer this axe, but yeah, looks cool. You'd expect like a big knight to carry this kind of a weapon, whereas this one feels more like it was like dented and like she's been using it for years. It's like a trusty blade. But yeah, that's just one guy's opinion. But because we've already got a shortened version of that blade, I am going to go ahead and pop the original, the longer blade back on there. The longer handle back on there. I do like her design, like the artwork on her body, the tattoos and stuff are pretty cool. Her armor's pretty awesome. Yeah, very cool looking. Can't wait to find out more about her on the movie. It doesn't really look like it though. I don't think the likeness is there on that one. But yeah, can't wait to learn more about her in the movie. Okay, so now we're moving to the one guy in the film that's got a realistic name, Simon. Which stands out like a sore thumb. I think it's funny. But yes, we have Simon. So let's take a closer look at Simon's character. Simon is a half-elf sorcerer and a descendant of the great wizard Elminster Amor. So yeah, that's pretty much all it says on there about him. All the rest of the stuff is just what it says about all the rest of the characters. But this means the sorcerer comes with the benefiting weapons of his class, blah, 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 blah. So he comes with his mage's staff, or weapon of choice there, with the little crystally thing at the top, which is nice. I like the designs on the gems into the wood there, and a little band across the bottom's pretty cool. I like his weird little helmet. I don't like the helmet. I'm not going to lie. I don't display him with this. I display him like that. I don't think the helmet looks good at all. I think it looks ridiculous. We do have on the gelatinous cube a little spell book that I do like to have with him though sometimes. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if it is a spell book where it's got a big demon-y head on it thingy. So it's a bit like, you know, a nice book there for him to use and carry. I wish it opened up though. I would love to have that displayed like open in his hand, like have him like holding it out in his hand and having the other hand up like he's casting. That would be very cool. And yeah, I'm loving the little satchel that's on his side here. This is actually the same one that's on the gelatinous cube. Let me just bring that one into shot for you. This is the one from the gelatinous cube. You can tell because it has a little nub on the back that holds it into place. Surprisingly, this one doesn't have that same little nub. I was half expecting it to be the same bag. Because obviously once it's against this person, you wouldn't even see the little nub bit anyway. So this is the same bag. So that's very interesting. These characters must get eaten by the gelatinous cube at some point during the movie then. It must happen because all their accessories, I've just realised, are obviously scattered throughout the gelatinous cube. Or they've just reused the accessories they had access to and then threw a few extras in there. There is a big arrow, like a big bow and arrow on the gelatinous cube lid, which I think that bow and arrow is pretty cool. But there's also skeletal pieces in there, so maybe The cube's been munching for a while. But yeah, I do love the gelatinous cube. If you haven't seen the review of that, please do go check it out. It's currently being used to house all the accessories of the figures that I've yet to review, which I think is quite funny. It's gobbling up reviews of future. But anyway, sorry, back to Simon. So we have one open palm hand here, which is kind of cool for his casting, and then the other hands for holding the staff, the mage's weapon, whatever we want to call it this time around in this version of this universe. But there we go. We can have him in a slight action pose here, kind of doing a bit of casting. He also has a money pouch there and a little accessory piece. And that is Simon. Okay, we're getting through these pretty well, so we're going to take on the last figure in the review pile here, which of course is Hugh Grant himself, playing playing on a character that is currently on the website called Forge. Is that his actual character name? Is he actually called Forge? That's weird. Is he the villain? I don't know. Yes, he's actually called Forge. That's so weird. Okie dokie, what have we got to say about Forge? Forge is a human rogue and currently the leader of... he's currently the Lord of Neverwinter. Oh my god, he's the Lord of Neverwinter. I've played the Neverwinter game so many times, but this must be a made-up character for the film then, because I've not heard of Forge before. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okie dokie. So yes, sorry, I was reading the little thing here. Yes, he's the Lord of Neverwinter, so he's the current leader of Neverwinter. From the trailer, they make him look out to be the bad guy, or at least the quest giver, the person who sends them on the mad quest. Maybe, I don't know. But either way, we'll find out more when we see the movie. But he's a rogue apparently, so that's pretty cool. So looking at him and his weaponry that he's been given here, it comes with two major... Oh, sorry, he's got the dagger as well in the sidearm here, which I believe... Will that be the same one that she's got and what the other guys have got? Yeah. It's that same little hooked blade with the small handle. So yeah, majors... a rogue's sidearm is the knife. Ugh. So there we go. Looking at the figure itself, he's got a nice neckerchief around his neck, which is quite tight to the neck on this one. I wish it hung lower a little bit. The figure itself, though, has plenty of movement in the head. It looks to be the same articulation that all the other figures have got here. There doesn't look to be anything out of the ordinary here, although he doesn't have an abdomen crunch. In fact, all the rest have got abdomen crunches except him. Weird. I bet it's under there, just under the plastic. We can swivel him at the waist on this one. His belt's hanging really low as well. He's got a top thigh cut though, double hinged knees, boot cut, rocker and pivot. He's got some nice ring signets on his finger there, looks pretty cool. And a big brooch around his top part of his jacket. Sorry, his shirt. But yeah, plenty of stuff to go at. And he comes with a really cool weapon. He comes with the... crossbow. He comes with the crossbow weapon, which has already got the arrow sort of like painted on. But yeah, he's got the crossbow, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to get him to pose with it really cool, but you really can't. You really can't. I mean, you could have him hold it that way. It's probably going to look a bit better. And he comes with his giant golden goblet. If we stretch his hand out a little bit there. And just sort of, roll it in. Yeah. But it's obviously it's Hugh Grant. I mean, it's British actor Hugh Grant. I think it should be a decent movie with him in it. I can't wait to see the film now. I've done all the figures now. I've had a good look at them all. I can't wait to see the film. But guys, what are your thoughts on the toy line? Is the toy line something you would pick up for yourself? Again, a lot of people, I think, have avoided the figures up until seeing the movie, and then once they've seen the film, they're kind of like, wow, I need the figures. I picked these up weeks ago. This is the first chance I've had to review them. You can go back and check out my haul video. I did a big Dungeons and Dragons haul where I got these. I got the Dritz character from the Hasbro website, and I even picked up a bunch of other fantasy characters, including the animated ones as well. I just need the final pack with the Dungeon Master in now. But guys, what are your thoughts on this toy line? And like I said, would you like me to review the animated ones next? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video today and you're brand new to the channel, then why not subscribe? And just thank you all once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, may the Force be with you.